Ready to go.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're working on this little Deadpool go-kart that I picked up. Now, when I first got it, I was thinking I was going to repaint it, turn it bright red, and clean it up, make it a nice go-kart. And then the more I messed with it, the more I realized I really like it this way. So we're going to leave the whole body alone, leave the paint alone and everything, and just focus on getting all the mechanical stuff right. So let's get started. She kicked for me with a little bit of starter fluid. So job one's going to be to get the gas out and put new fuel in it. And we're going to do that the easy way this time. Or maybe not. I thought it had gas in it anyway. Let's take a look. Yep, the gas is shut off. Very nice. Okay, the gas is slowly draining, so we can speed it up a little bit by taking the float out. Get the needle out of the way, and she should pour faster. There we go. And I'm seeing what looks like might be rust inside the carburetor, but once she's done draining, we'll get the carburetor off the motor and we'll get a better look at her. If you're ever doing something like this, take a lot of pictures. It'll save you a whole lot of aggravation later figuring out exactly how everything goes together. The gas doesn't look all that great that came out of it, but it might have run the engine. So we're going to go ahead and pull the carburetor off, and we're going to clean up the needle and seat, and we'll run the carburetor through the ultrasonic just to make it look nice and neat. So job one will be getting the fuel line out of the way. That almost worked. Come on, buddy. There we go. And this should do it. No, thought I might need the bucket for the extra drips. Okay, now these can get tricky, but once you get the carburetor about halfway off, this linkage will pop right off. And then you just have to pull the spring and you're completely free. So let's take her over to the bench and clean her up. I just went through the box of goodies I got with this machine, and it had a carburetor in the box. So that may have made life really short and simple for us. Let's take a look, make sure the carburetors match up, make sure the gaskets match up. Yep, and everything appears to be pretty ducky. Everything looks really good. Now, if he hadn't have supplied me everything that I needed, I would have definitely taken whatever effort it took to get the jet out of the bottom of that carburetor. But since he gave us a carburetor along with the machine, we might as well use it. Let's get our new gasket on. You can see this depends on the intake and depends on this plate you've got right here. This might have been a handy gasket, but I already knew on this one it's not. So we're going to take our handy back gasket, make sure that we have the gasket in place correctly. And you can see it really only fits one way. It really wants to sit just like that. If you have it upside down or backwards, you'll know. So I'll thread the gasket on, thread the carburetor on. And this might be the easiest little fix we've had this week. Throw a carburetor on and call her finished. We don't do that much with 4-strokes. But then again, I very rarely buy a go-kart or a lawnmower or anything where somebody supplies me free parts either. There's one. Let's get the spring in place and be super gentle with the spring. You don't want to stretch it out. And there you go. Push it in place and push the fuel line back down. And we're almost there. Okay, let's put the clip back on the fuel line. Looks good, looks good. And this fuel line looks like it's in pretty good shape, so I'm not worried about it. Just about ready to put her back together. There you go. We'll line those up this way. We'll line up our air filter. Come on, buddy. I'm just going to get the nuts started on this. And we're going to go to the other side and put our little airbox vent in. Okay, I got her turned around and ready to go. So now for the exciting part, the first start. Now I went ahead and put a new plug in it and all that, so she should start the first time. Let's find out. Let's hit the power switch. Make sure we're on over here. We're on. Okay, crush fingers. Full choke. She almost started first start. No choke. I'm going to turn the idle up just a touch on this one. Do it 1/2 a turn. One more 1/2 a turn with the idle. See, it sounds like the idle is just way low. But I don't want to turn it up too far because I don't want it to try to run off on me. Oh, there we go. Now she's idling. But yeah, she's idling so low, there's no way she's going to keep running. There we go. That feels better. Now she's creeping a little bit, so I'll turn it down some. That'll work. She's on a nice smooth surface. In between clips, I adjusted the brakes and tightened up the front wheels and checked all the bearings. And everything's ready to go now. So let's take this bad boy for a ride. Okay, that's turned on. Hit the switch. She should be ready to go. Okay, the brakes are much more responsive now. Let's turn on the GoPro. And let's go for a ride. That passed with flying colors. Everything felt nice and tight. She goes full speed. The brakes work pretty good. They're sticking just a little bit, but I'll put a new spring on it and that'll take care of that. If you hold them all the way down, they tend to have a touch of a stick. So that's that for this go-kart. This one came up pretty good, I think. I like it just like she is. That bad boy runs pretty good. It has a top speed of about 35. It looks faster on the video than it really is. Now, it's meant for a kid, so 35 is plenty for a go-kart like this one. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free, and it really is what we work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.